Yeah, hello. Our next problem would be called valid palindrome. I already told you about how a palindrome works. So, like, if you take a letter like level, if you see it from, if you reverse the string, it should be the same as same string. So, if you make it level, it's the same if you read it from left and right, right? So that's generally a palindrome. Uh, yeah. So they are asking for a string where even if one of the character is deleted, it should still be a palindrome. So that's the problem. So how do you think our approach should be? So imagine there is A, B, A. This generally, how do you check a palindrome? Let's just write the first normal algorithm, right? So is palindrome. How do you think that works? So is palindrome function works when like you take 2 pointers left and right, and you see if the left is equal to right. If not, it's not a palindrome. If they are, you move left with one, which is left plus plus or left plus equals to one, and you remove right minus equals to one, which is like right to the left and left to the right. So that's how you see if it's a palindrome or not. And how do you think our approach should be for how do you think our approach should be for like ABCA or something like that? So uh, yeah, so if it's like ABCA, uh, imagine you have 2 pointers that go from left that have a left and right. So I'll just tell you how the algorithm works. I don't think it's hard to it's not that difficult to comprehend. You take 2 pointers left and right, you check wherever they are equal. If they are equal, uh, you move them in the same way, left plus plus and r minus minus. If not, if they are not equal, then the thing is you have to check if the other halves are palindrome. So like if you have a b c a, you remove, so this part and this part is palindrome, so this, and you come now to L and R, right? Now you check if the remaining string is palindrome or not. So if you have LEVEAL, okay, so imagine you're coming from this. So first L and L are equal, so you're good. Next you come to E and A. E and A are not equal. So you take EVE as one string, string X, and this as string Y. Or like the left of the rest of the string as string Y. And like you see if this is palindrome and this is also palindrome, then you declare it as a, you can see that if you remove one of it, it is still a palindrome, right? So yeah, that's the approach it should be. Just to recap, you have something like LEA X Z E A E L. So L and L are equal, E and E are equal, A and A are equal, X and Z they are not equal. So now you just take, okay, I think I I think I made a bad example. Let me take another one. L E X A uh, A E L is a palindrome, right? So you take L and L are equal, A, E and E are equal. Then you come to X, X and A are not equal. So you take the remaining string, which is again X and just A. Yeah, and if you check if the remaining strings are equal, and just go from there. I think it will be more clearer if I write the uh, uh, solution. So if you have class solution function valid palindrome with like input as string and output as boolean, right? You initialize your left variable and right variable. You don't have to put this, but like yeah, var equal to s dot length minus one. You always have to take minus one, right? Because like arrays have length one less, and then you write your while loop. While your left is less than right, always for a palindrome check, if uh, is a valid palindrome, you can write a helper function that for this takes input what your string, your left plus one. So like whatever you have and r or is valid palindrome s left to right minus one. If any of them are valid palindromes, then you should be good. And you have to always increase left and right, so you shouldn't forget that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this should be good. Return true if these two conditions are not, or else left plus plus and r minus minus, and return false. And your valid palindrome function would look something like this. So yeah, let's just write our valid palindrome or like is palindrome function. So it goes something like this, as you know. Oh, sorry. It takes a main string, left and right inputs. So let's just convert them into our own. And actually, it doesn't matter. You can be like val I less than j, so that you can change the variables wherever you want. If s of I is not equal to s of j, return false, or else I plus plus and j minus minus, return true. Yeah, that's it, right? You can actually simplify this function by saying something like this function can be written something like this: if s of I plus plus is not equal to s of j minus minus. You know why this happens? Because if you have I plus plus, it will first take s of I, and after the operation, after the equal to operation or whatever operation, then it will do plus plus and minus minus. So yeah, that's an advantage too. So you can write it like this and be like return false. That's it. Let me share the code again. Uh, yeah, just to recap, um, we have our class solution with valid palindrome. It takes the string s and like returns boolean, obviously. So initially we initialize our variables with left as 0 and right as the last index, which is s of length minus 1. And we take a while loop where ls less than r till ls less than r, if s of l is not equal to, which is string of left left string index is not equal to right string, the string at left index is not equal to a string at right index, then you call the isPalindrome function to see if the rest of the strings on this side and that side aren't the same. And yeah, that function looks something like this, where uh, where as of if you know if anywhere any of the string doesn't match, then it's directly a false, otherwise it's true. Yeah, and you do s plus plus and r minus minus here so that it keeps iterating the string and return true if it is true, if these conditions are valid. That's it.